Hello and welcome to Money Matters. Tonight we have a property-focused episode starting with some of the hidden gems one can find in a city full of bland, high-rise apartment buildings. One man has found his passion, buying, renovating, and renting out Hong Kong's fast-disappearing early 20th century tonglaus or low-rise buildings. Here is his story.
It was purchased for $2.5 million, which is like an 800 square foot unit with a terrace and a rooftop. So it's got lots of outdoor space. And I bought that one, renovated it. There's 2 units per floor. And at this point I own both of them. And they both have a balcony and a rooftop. Pretty cool. Lots of outdoor space. And great open views.
Dare Koslow moved to Hong Kong in 1995 with a multinational company. It was in 2005 that he bought his first property after the SARS outbreak. He bought places that ranged in price from $2 million to $6 million.
Today, I think they're worth a lot more than that. I know they're worth a lot more than that.
How much do you think they're worth today?
I'm gonna guess like maybe 12 to 15 million each.
Over the years, Dare has bought 30 flats in the central Sheung Wan area, all in the traditional low-rise buildings known as tonglaus. He has kept 25 of them, all of which are rented out.
In fact, it was luck that I think I ended up in a situation right now where I've been able to make it a business, a successful business, living off of the rental income. It was shortly after SARS had ended, and it was just an opportune moment for me to start buying. It wasn't like planned or in any way I had any foresight that made me understand or expect the prices to be at their lowest, but it was a good time to be buying.
He says he always buys the places unrenovated so he can do a full renovation to a style and standard that he wants. This often means completely changing the plumbing and electrics so the flats all have modern bathrooms and kitchens while retaining the flat's original character.
I fall in love with the properties, and the renovations are something that I get carried away with because I want them to look good and I want them to be comfortable. It wasn't factoring, how can I do it the cheapest possible way? How can I make more money out of it this way? It was all about how can I make it look its best? How can I make it most comfortable? How can I make it stand out from other properties?
Back in 2005, he says renovations for a 500 or 600 square foot flat would set him back around $400,000. But that has gone up over time as labor and material costs have risen.
Wherever it's possible, floors where they have the original tile floors, the iron windows, I'll keep them if they're in good enough shape, or I will recreate the old style windows to make them look exactly like the original ones, but I'll do it in a way in which they won't leak, they will not have too much sound coming through, so minimize any inconvenience.
Tonglaus built after the 1900s were required to have large windows, and many had balconies and verandas. They were a combination of Chinese and European architecture. After 1966, no tonglaus were built when a building ordinance allowing for the high-rise was introduced. Alex has been living in this 1,400 square foot flat for 8 years, ever since he arrived in Hong Kong. He looked at new builds, but they lacked appeal.
It's the same cookie cutter kind of environment. And here it was just pretty unique, having like this one apartment that consists of 3 individuals' apartment. You have the circular staircase and of course a great landlord.
You would never guess that this flat is behind that door when you're coming up.
No, especially also I think like the neighbors have all these 1 flats, and then I have these 3 flats connected together and they're not even aware it exists, right?
The place came unfurnished, but Alex worked with Dare to choose the furnishings.
We kind of agreed that I can pick up what I need and he would actually pay for it. Dare very much cares about the style and the look and feel, so he really much wants a kind of integration between the furniture to the bookshelves, to the shelves and everything.
I do have a warehouse that I've accumulated some items that I like and I use when I have a new property that I'm living in or make available to my tenants if they want to use it.
Most of Dare's tenants are expats like Alex or returning overseas locals. He says they seem to have more of an appreciation of the character that these vintage buildings offer, despite having to walk upstairs to get there. So You have still the character of the old style, but then all the modern.
Exactly. I think that puts it very nicely. So you also, it's like when you walk up from outside, you're like it looks like run down and everything, but then you come inside and you have like, it opens up and you have all the necessary amenities that you need to feel comfortable. The wall, it looks like it hasn't been painted yet, but it's like actually done on purpose. So it just looks a little bit more rustical and goes very well with the copper. As you can see, this is really nice block of marble here, the kind of where you can cook on and everything, and it has all the necessary appliances. Yeah. I mean, you have the two induction plates, and then the nice one here is a actual teppanyaki plate. Actually, I think it's pretty unique. You got all your oven, your steamer. Then he built in the fridge, so you have here the fridge that's just built in.
Before the pandemic, Alex did a lot of entertaining in this space. One of the reasons he says he liked the flat.
Here people sit, we put all the chairs outside and everything. And you see here all the plants as well. Yeah, so it's very green and lush. So this is the balcony, so you can open these doors completely open. So you have like the inside, outside. And it also has a grill there. So it's a pretty nice little outdoor space that's very cozy.
With 3 separate flats built into one unit, the design between them keeps the continuity.
We have the same door going in here, we have the other door that goes straight there to the kitchen, and then another door upstairs.
This spiral staircase is amazing.
Yes, I would say it's like the centerpiece. It's a connection between 2A and 3A upstairs. And so this takes you straight up to the bedroom. Follow me. So we go up these stairs.
Your bedroom is actually an entire flat.
Yes, a bedroom and the outside with the staircase and my walk-in is an entire flat for other people. Yes.
Is it very quiet up here?
Yes, it used to be quiet for around 7 years, but then a restaurant moved into this neighborhood. So I told Dare, look, I can't stay here anymore unless we do something about it. And then he said, how about when you're on vacation next time, I'm just going to build a double layer of glasses. So as you can see, there's 2 windows here. Now it's completely quiet.
Dare's rentals range from $18,000 a month for a 450 square foot place to $80,000 for those over 1,000 square feet. Given the service, it's clearly not just the space you're paying for.
He generally is on hand, so it's like I can send him a WhatsApp and say, hey, there's a problem with the light in the bathroom, and then he sends one of his guys, and within a day it's repaired. So it's, I think, not your standard kind of landlord in Hong Kong, so I really cherish that.
I like to call it full service. I mean, we're here and we're a neighbor, and the handyman and the gardener and whatever they need, we're available for our tenants. As I describe it as I want to be the good guy in the land of landlords.
Dare says there is a risk connected with owning these older flats in low-level buildings. Developers want to tear them down and build more lucrative high-rises. He's learned to make sure he owns over 20% of the flats in the building. If a developer can buy out 80% of the flats, they can force out the rest and start demolishing.
And it's becoming more and more of a battle because there's fewer and fewer of these low-rise buildings available. So where they do exist, usually to the left, to the right, in front of you is a large-scale building development going on.
So when did you buy this place?
I'd say 2014. That was this is the last one that I bought.
How do you research? How do you find these places?
I have a collection of agents who get the whole idea behind, redevelopment or renovation, I should say, of the older buildings.
And such a cool area, even with an old tree.
Yes, it really is.
And just the alleyway, it has so much character.
It does. And look, this building is hidden between Bridges Street and Hollywood Road. There's no, access to it other than these old lanes, and it still stands. And it's probably one of the most well-preserved classical tonglaus that I've seen in Central that has not been a target of, demolition or developers.
So you're in a way a conservationist in Hong Kong.
I like to think of myself as a conservationist because I do love the old Hong Kong. It is exactly, and that's what I look for, to find the old Hong Kong and find, whatever still exists, to try and respect it and live with it, not try and change it, but to find ways in which it can still be relevant and be preserved. What makes Hong Kong unique?